Okay.
Yeah. Then we had one on Friday where we went back in and the market did
Market
go sideways.
has continued down.
Yeah, there is some news about that channel in Iran whereby they closed it again.
Mm,
But we're still in that upward movement. At
mm,
first, I expected the market to come back slightly lower here before pushing
yeah.
higher. So I'm
Mm,
waiting to see if it does. And I want to just see how Monday open comes in. This
mm,
is I want to see how Monday open comes in. If we have a break of this place,
mm.
well, if we have a break of this place, then
Selling.
yeah, the selling may be this week. We may have that
Mm,
retracement, and this retracement may take some time. May take some time
mm,
back
mm,
to even lower. But the general market for GU is highs. This retracement may
mm,
come slightly down here if it's to happen.
mm,
But because we saw if those people have closed the channel,
mm,
then we're going to see markets deep. I was talking to someone about gold. We were doing analysis. In fact, we had a trading session, and I was telling him about how gold is moving. Every time it has this
mm,
retracement, there is always a huge
mm.
dump. And you see even
Damn.
here,
Mm.
even here, there is always that.
I think
Which,
it's kind of repeating the same process.
it's repeating. Even there is another one. Hey, no, it's the only two. I don't know if there were two, but I think I saw two. We were having a session and we saw that repeated. I think there were three.
Pattern.
We have this. No, this is not a pullback, but ever since it made this movement, futures did down. So if we get this repeated move, it can even come higher.
Mm,
We may have another major dump. So all this is because
mm,
of that. But gold has been moving well. And this buy here on Friday was very nice. Most people didn't get it, but for us we got it.
mm,
That's the setup that was very, very fast. And I remember he sent me a message that what let's hold. I think when I reached around here,
mm,
was it here?
mm.
I was like, let's take out because this resistance.
Take
And also,
profit.
yeah, and also that thing of, when I told you that the GU market always looks where it started from.
Started
So
from.
I saw this, yeah, where it started from for the week. When I saw this movement and it was heading towards the resistance, I just thought we were going to just. That's why I took profit, but I left position running until
Mm,
around here. Then after we wanted to get a move here, it refused. Now we have this
mm,
dump. But also this sell, I also shared this sell. This sell was just an easy one. Though I've moved some trend lines, but I think I had a
mm,
trend lines here, and this was just. I talked to someone called Brian. We were having a session, and I was
mm,
telling him about this whole collection. And when it broke out, remember that move that I told you
mm,
about, where it indicated, and this was the pullback. And when it dipped just
mm.
below low, that's when I started
Just pulling
selling.
back.
At this
Mm,
the M pattern was there, this engulfing was there, so I just had everything for the sell. And look at how my TP. There's a way my TP, but it gave a number of entries until
mm,
then we made this trend line. I think we both had this trend line here.
mm,
That
mm,
right. And then we waited for the buy movement here. So that's basically GU. There is a way it moved. Oh, I had another setup. I think I missed this on Monday. Then I had to
mm,
wait. Tuesday I waited, and this one just came in on Thursday. But then for GU, I'll just remove
mm,
this thing now because now they are useless. For GU, I'm just waiting to see. Now you see the thing about trend lines. Most people would say that if even though it touches here and goes back for retest,
mm, Mm.
If it fails to break structure, this support, we may not see
Mm.
that sell. It can just bounce here and begin to go to the upside. That's why I've left this one here. You know,
Mm.
it can have a major dip, but then the pullback
Mm.
will, this will all be a fake out, you know. So
Mm.
for me, the trend lines, I'm going to just always wait. Because at times the market gives us this fake out. And it's just going to a support zone just to bounce off,
Mm.
you know. So most times when you're marking out,
Yep.
always mark out these lows, the structures that if the market breaks here, that's when we
Mm.
can think of something like that, you know. But before that,
Mm.
it's hard to say we are ready for sales. So the DXY,
Yeah. Yeah.
looking at the DXY,
Oh,
has been in its moves ever since it broke this point. Didn't even feel the gap. Yeah,
the
didn't
trend
feel the
line.
gap. The trend line
Just continue
was,
down.
yeah, this was actually it. Remember, I don't know if it was there at the session where I drew this. I kept drawing these funny movements. Only that this was huge, you know. No, it wasn't you.
Mm.
But we
It was
anticipated
it
this.
was a-
The market failed to break above this point. Say anticipating, and when it broke below this trend line here, I thought it would even give us a pullback so that we sell,
Mm.
but that we buy Geo,
Retest.
but it did not. Hmm. That we buy Geo easily. It did not. So I was also confused
Mm.
in this whole area. No perfect structure. I didn't really move with the DXY this week. Maybe next week I'll see how it moves.
Mm.
Bitcoin has been, I've not been trading it for some time because it has been moving funny. This is another one.
And
Very interesting,
mm.
interesting market structure.
Okay.
But it's also playing the same games. Breakout, but play around. No major structure broken. This one
Mm.
looked like a fake out, but went back, you know. So this is what I'm talking
Crazy.
about. This market can begin buying rapidly. Now someone is waiting for the major sell. But it has bounced off an area here.
Mm.
And now you can see it's trying to
Mm.
assume back. But I can't just buy from here. Yes, it's okay to buy, but me, I would want to wait. Even though if you
Wait.
go to the bigger time frames, you're going to see that this is the breakout, and every time it bounces, it's trying to push to the upside. But this is now a risky
Mm.
pair to trade, because now
Mm.
even it just came and touched and started going back. You don't know if it's going for for
Come
that
down.
thing pushes back. Of course, this one would be one to consider. I'll just consider the lowest point like that. And maybe if we have a crossover this side, I would sell from here to here. But it's very risky, very, very risky. This pair is one you should
Mm.
even avoid. Like, it's very risky. It's still in that buy phase, but it's also giving you
Mm.
some sell side uh signals. Because if this M pattern holds, it can really dump hard. So I would just wait
Mm.
out and see how that pair moves. Then Chef Chef JPY is preparing for massive sell for the first
This
time
week
in a while.
it was not
Oh
doing
my,
something
no,
good.
no. You remember that trade that we both had different directions? Eh, you remember it? In the
Yeah, I do
private
remember.
you
Good.
sent you sent I sent buys, you sent so
Yeah.
I think it was here. I don't know if you
Mm.
remember.
Yeah, it was there.
Then
It had broken a trend line, but the thing failed to dump very well. It
oh,
dumped,
this thing
but in slow motion.
this was we were around here. So me I was looking
Yeah,
for
yeah,
buy. Then the thing was sold. I was like, hey, what's going on? I think it was Wednesday trade. Then again it bought. I was
Mm.
like, this thing is going to clear post stop losses today. It just kept playing. And once it crossed over here and went back up, I was like,
Mm.
okay, I think it's now ready. It did not. It just refused. you know. It
Yes,
just kept
that thing was selling was selling, but in the moment of selling, it was just
mm,
playing around. Yeah, I got even
where is that?
a break even.
There is that. I shared the chat. Let me just go to the group and get that chat. I shared. We both shared different at the same time.
Yes,
We
yes.
both
Yes, you shared a buy for me. I shared a sell. I told you I'm going to sell this one,
yeah. But
and it was retesting.
actually it's here. I think this is the one. Actually, this is wait, 15 minutes, 203. This was my buy point here.
Mm,
Then it
mm.
first pulled, then it first went down. I think this is the part you are selling. Went and wicked me out,
I was
then it
I was
fell.
planning for the thing, but it first swept the people there.
Oh, how did I? I don't know. My stop. I think my stop loss was too. Was my entry was high. Like if you see the chart,
Mm,
my entry was so high,
mm,
so my stop loss was tapped there. But I would have made some good
mm,
money from this movement. Yeah, I missed out. This was it. Exactly. I missed out on it. Huh. Thing played around. At first, it first wiped me out and gave you hope, I think. Wait.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
That thing, the way it banged me.
yeah, so I would have made some good money. But it went and hit that resistance. Then again, it started
Mm,
melting. But to me, you see this.
mm,
This looks like a sell,
mm,
but I'm not convinced. I'm not yet
mm,
convinced. Of course, I would sell from here to here. I would sell actually, but I'm not so convinced about this sell. This pair is one that selling is just too risky on this pair, you know.
mm,
So what I'm going to do is I'll just wait. Once it crosses below here and gives me some like gives me this then a reversal pattern for more sell, I'll enter for the sell. But for now, can't enter for sales here. Because just look at how this pair moves,
mm. Buying.
buys, but at a major point, likely it can dump,
Mm,
but we can't just say it will dump. We have to get the best entry. So let's wait and see how the card. This one is
I'll
one I
look at
rarely
that
trade.
one.
Now I have it. Watch remove it. Like literally, then look organized. Me just remove it. This we're just doing some chart view.
No problem. No
Think
problem.
pick me out on some. Pick me out here. Then it went up.
Mm,
I'll just
let's
leave this trend
continue.
line as possible. You know. So this dump was the one of Friday. Even this one is funny because now it has to
You,
some sort of retracement, but to what point? Not clear market structure unless you drop here.
mm,
For which here the gap is huge. I wouldn't trade this actually. I wouldn't because what's this? I'd wait maybe Wednesday there when it has found clear sense of direction.
mm,
Moving on to Audi JPY. Very amazing pair. Man, I like this pair.
sure.
Yes, like this pair. It just trends. It
Just going up.
just trends, you know? Like I even gave out
Mm,
this, sent it out a number of times, like the whole week. This thing fed me the whole week. The whole the whole
mm.
week I just holding. I would hit a stop loss but I remember I have my boy printing the other side. Now it's back here. It's back here for more buys.
Yeah, trend line.
But what I'm going to
Mm,
do is I'm going to just watch it for Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to just watch it. What is the action in the middle here? Maybe, yeah. I'll just wait for the action. I'll just wait for the action. If it plays around and comes here, hey, we are still going up until we see major
Yes.
structure, which I don't see a lot of the major structures. I don't see it there. So we have Euro JPY,
Mm.
another one, which is giving a very nice move. Euro JPY. Look at that. Very nice. We have a break below this, then a pushback. We're going to buy, you know. So I'm just planning out my week. To have this clean out, then
I see it's
because
like
here
on
you
a trend
can
line, eh?
see
You pass through that trend line.
I drew the trend line. Oh, it looks like it's
Mm.
on a trend line.
It's on the trend line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice. Nice for buys. Nice for buys, but I have to just wait and see. And Monday is a funny day to trade.
Hey man, Monday, the bangs. Seriously.
Yeah, just saying
No
something.
joking, no.
It did break out here. It broke out and played around. It didn't reach. It didn't
Mm.
reach. So let's look for reversal. I always look for reversal chart patterns here, you know,
Mm.
because I can't just enter. I have to look for real
Of course.
reversal chart patterns. Maybe if we have a drop to there and give us some sort of divergence, I'll, I'll go in after that. NZD, hey, these are pairs
And
that
then
I
the
don't touch.
that
These are
one,
pairs.
I also don't touch that one.
I'd rather trade something else. I catch this one.
Mm.
Now this is nice.
Wow, that's a perfect break.
Mm. But at a very funny point. You see this point here.
Mm. But I think it is testing that high. Eh? That one.
This high.
I think it is. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
In retracing, it is finding two resistances.
Mm. So you think it's going to
And I
continue
think
sell?
there is some psychological level there, I think. Of course. There is a psychological level there.
Not even using
Eight
psychological
five
level.
eight
Let me try to clean up. Yeah, it's possible.
mm,
So we count this as the major support that has been broken.
low.
And yeah,
Mm,
but you can wait it out and just wait it out. Let's get a safety
yeah,
line. I'll take this as my safety line. If we
Agenda.
have a break above
Mm,
this, this
mm,
is what I read. If we have a break above this, break of this,
mm, mm,
we can get like a cleaner shot to the upside. It's better. But if
mm,
we have just
yeah,
movement down, then there may go sales, you know. But the sales
mm,
are risky. I don't just sell just because it has broken a trend line. Even though it looks nice,
mm,
I just wait for confirmation so that I have a clear movement. We may even have a break.
mm,
We can have a break of this point, then gives us
mm.
a very nice pullback. Would be the best for us to
Up
target
to
here.
down there, yeah.
The thing about it is you have to protect your capital. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it does that on a Friday doesn't mean it will on a Monday.
Monday.
So it's better to be defensive.
First
This
check
one is not
USD card. That one. That thing has sold the whole week
looks crazy. All week,
going
but
down.
it's looks nice. Let's see.
And it is retesting a trend line there.
There's a trend line here. Where?
No? Coming
Oh,
from
there is
up.
a break. A break.
First one,
No,
see. No, no.
this was a huge breakout. Now you see what I was talking about.
Mm,
Like someone can rush to break out here on a 4 hour time frame. It is a many
Mm,
pips, but just look at didn't break above structure. And now here it's retesting on a 61, a fib zone. And in that same fib
mm,
zone, market hasn't given
there's
us enough,
support.
hasn't given us uptrend vibes, but it has broken a trend
Mm,
line. So just can form an inverse head and shoulders. Have to be extremely careful,
mm.
extremely careful. But it can't. Okay,
So-
we have to just
Someone,
wait.
someone would think that market is going up.
Someone would say that because of this breaks here, how it broke here and flew. You see the way it broke here and flew up, so
Mm,
this can be just a retracement. So the thing I do is I raise up safety lines. I let the market do its part as I just watch out for, you know,
mm,
just watch out for safety.
yep.
Because I've not seen anything. I think this is what I call a safety line here.
Mm,
I think
I
just
see.
have to let the market do its thing, and when it's ready. Now this one, you have to just wait for it to break here. Once it does that
Mm,
and gives a confirmation, a reversal confirmation here, a reversal of this small move, you look for buys
mm,
because this market can reach here and down. So to avoid all that, you have to have safety
mm,
here,
yes.
because here it looks like, yes, the downtrend looks beginning, but you can't be so sure
Yeah, I'm so sure.
because it can buy back if like 61.8 or dumping. So to avoid all that,
Mm,
have to move slow. Let's see how the markets react to the news of Iran closing their channel.
mm, mm,
Let's see how it reacts to that. Because that's the major news this weekend. They closed the channel again. So we don't know if they'll reopen
mm.
it. We don't know if
But the
they'll.
ceasefire is ending on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure, but there.
Be serious.
Yes, that's when the ceasefire is ending.
Mm.
So
If the ceasefire,
you'll see Trump, you see bombs dropping on people.
yes. If the ceasefire, that's why we can't be so sure. That's why we can't be
Mm.
so sure. So
And you
we
will
have to
see,
just wait and see how the market.
by the way, how is all US started with the
Yes,
news, with the way Trump is doing things there.
US 30 is. Last time I analyzed it, right? It was just buying. I don't know if it's sold, but NAS 100 was hitting all-time highs on Thursday. Then
Nasdaq.
it put as NAS 100 was hitting all-time high. I think this is
Ah,
NAS
yeah,
100.
yeah, yeah,
It's pumping all-time highs. Huh,
yeah. Mm.
I need to trade. Let me see how it trends here. These things are funny to trade, but it follows a nice. Once you get it, anyway, you can. Nice to trade. But now, how are you going to trade this? How are you going to
Yeah,
trade this? Now, this downtrend
yeah,
would
you
have
can.
been. This downtrend would be nice to milk, like with that
Mm.
strategy. Or just be
Mm.
going, just be marking out, just be marking out these points waiting for. Maybe this one would have killed me, but the rest,
Mm.
no. But how do you trade this? Can't trade now 100.
You can't.
Hey, wait. You can't. Can't even look there.
Trend line.
I wanted to see if there's one, but nah, nah, nah. That's forcing it. This is your US 30. It
Mm.
didn't come. It didn't come back for us at all.
It did.
Just
Mm.
flew. Let's wait for it. Tomorrow, market is open in a few hours. with the news that has been flying around, it didn't
Mm.
come back. Or it did at some point here, but I think I wasn't on the chat. It did some sort of pullback. Maybe I mark out the service. Yeah, that's what
Mm.
pullback. Can't force this thing. You have to just watch.
That thing
Can't
has to
force.
pull back like for a week.
That's the
What
hey.
form are you abstracting?
Let's say oil. I think this is
Oil.
what I want. Oil. Like it
Mm.
didn't like you see the that thing of the canal closing that
Mm.
strike Hormuz. This is what I expected.
Mm.
When did I analyze this? So man, if the price of oil flies today, we may
Mm.
and this is what you're talking about, and we won't have oil flying again. You know,
Mm.
let's wait and see how the whole market opens up.
But but the problem is Trump is not, and it is not predictable.
Crazy, but you know we can't wait for him to become predictable. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
Mm.
to just line ourselves for whatever the man says.
Yeah.
You know?
And
We
by
just
the
have
way,
to apply.
the other thing of crypto.
Oh man, I think we shall start having sessions.
Yeah,
Crypto.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I'll get off
You
doing.
also
Maybe
think about that.
I think we shall add another day during the week.
No
The
problem.
problem
Because I say the thing, anytime it is flying,
is
I want it to fly with me
no, we are going to get a roof. I think we shall add another day. Just remind me like on Tuesday
on Tuesday. Okay, I'll do so.
that we get another day because you be free at 11 in the night.
Yeah, you know my time.
So yeah, just remind me and we shall find another day.
I'll do
Vale,
so. I'll do so. Vale.
thank you for attending.
Okay. Thank you also for the knowledge.
Bye.